we go. Saturday, documenting this journey all the way up until I run the marathon in May. First marathon documentation. I won't take you outside here. I realized my mistake in that last video on windy days. Taking you outside doesn't really work with the audio. So my apologies. All of this is new learning for me too. So here we are. Supposed to be a long run. The winds right now are like 23 to 25 mile per hour winds. And I've talked about wind before. It can feel like the most significant of any weather condition when I'm out there running, but got to get it done. And we'll see how I go. Probably about an hour and a half worth of running time. One piece of advice that I'm really trying to stick to that I've been given by a runner and a colleague on campus is make your slow runs or your easy runs slow or easy. Easier said than done. Nice play on words there. But that's really going to be my focus, is to try to not get in my head about feeling like I have to get a time. This is really about getting out there, doing some good things. Winds are out of the south, so at, like I said, 21 to 23 miles an hour right now. It's only supposed to get worse, and the rain is going to move back in. So I want to get this run done. But it is, ironically enough, it is, well, because they're out of the south, the winds, it's much warmer. So we're talking like 50s, which is very different from the run that perhaps you watched the other night, which was in the 20s. So we're on a 30-degree swing in one direction. So getting out there, here we go. Trying to get used to a fueling strategy on some of these long runs too. So taking it in with these goos. My favorite, salted caramel. That's the one that I go to. So here we go, back at it, 7 miles in, about another 30 minutes to go here. Struggling. That was a hard run. Couple things in the recap here that are important that were on my mind. So when I do these long runs, I know that it's going to cost me time and energy with my family, as I'm sure that anybody who's going through this and trying to prepare themselves for anything, there's always going to be some sacrifice. I'll find a way to get through that. Baseball practice at 1, and then a birthday party that goes from 5 until 8 o'clock at night that I have to stay at. That's a topic for another day when you're dealing with young people that have anxiety and you can't leave them. You know what I'm talking about. So that's that. As far as the run, I'll put the run details here. So I'm proud of that effort, 11 miles. I really tried to concentrate on keeping that heart rate in like the high 130s all the way up to about 150, thinking that that is still low heart rate training for me. Lower, I think 150 is getting up there a little bit, but I think it was, it felt comfortable. I didn't feel, exhausted or spent. I felt like I had a little bit in the tank, so that's a good sign. So in this little post run here, the wind was tough. I'll say that there's no two ways about that one. But I'll just talk about this as like the big takeaway for me is there are great teachable moments and teachers, either people or things or events that happen. And then there is time to pause in those moments while they're happening and kind of reflect and think about what's the lesson here. And once you get through that and identifying the lesson there, then you look for the opportunities. So let me explain what that meant for this run without going on a full-blown hour rant, which this very easily could be. The reality is, I get out there like mile 2, I think it was, and my earbuds cut out on me. Now, luckily, I wore this little band, which I can't really show right now, but my AirPods cut out on me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I have no idea. So the book that I was listening to, Gary Vee's Crushing It, cut out on me. So that had me put the AirPods away at mile 2. When I initially set out to do this long run, as you heard in the beginning, I said I was going to go out for an hour and a half. I then realized by not having the AirPods and only being 18 minutes into the run, I had a long way to go. But as I went, I thought about, well, what's the opportunity here? And the opportunity was, the lesson was this. If that happens on the day of a race, right, what are you going to do? Exactly what I did, which is put the AirPods away and move on. Like you can't quit. I can't say, you know what, well, the AirPods are done and I'm done. And I know David Goggins has some funny stuff on that. Not funny, realistic, beat you down kind of material on that. And he's right. What are you going to do? You can't just say, well, because I don't have my AirPods, I can't run anymore. No, you put them away, you figure it out, you move on. And that's exactly what I did. So that's the lesson. The opportunity in that, right, was I had time to check in with my body, my breath, my mental game about what was happening. I had feedback in a way that I really hadn't paid attention to because I'm always listening to something. I felt, this is going to sound strange, I felt when my knees started to touch as I was coming forward, every time that happened, I realized I've got to concentrate on my foot placement. My breath, I had that 2-step, kind of 3rd step out. I could really check in with that. That felt good. I can hear my feet getting off the ground, getting on the ground, getting off the ground. I had more awareness there. And I had better attention when it came to my arm swing. So that was interesting. So that was the sort of opportunity. The second thing was, great teacher, hard running south today. Those winds, as you saw, right? Actually, yeah, I put them in the pictures after the run here. The wind, 23, 24, 25 miles per hour gusts, great teacher. It's going to be hard. Can't control that. That's out of my control. The opportunity, though, was when I was running north. I got a little bit faster, so that helped. So that's my big takeaway from today, was looking at it as, what's the teacher here? What are the lessons I'm learning about it? And then what are the opportunities? I'm curious to hear about your lessons too, so thanks for watching.